Hi, MCU fans. Today's Marvel Cinematic history of MCU Goats. Yes, the magical goats will appear in a new Thor movie. And guess what? Thor 4 comes out this Friday, and I'm excited to watch it, except I'm watching it on Saturday. And now I'm going to read a brief history of the origin of Thor's mighty goats. For example, when it comes to Marvel Comics, like most beloved characters, Tooth Gincer and Tooth Grinder have their own origin story, and in this case, their tale also helps explain why Thor has goats and not horses at the head of his chariots in Marvel Comics, although, as mentioned, Thor's goats were first created by Englehart and Buscema in 1976, about 46 years ago. In 2011, they received their origin story in Marvel Comics, Journey into the Mystery, issue 623, and what will come as no surprise to Thor fans, we can thank Thor brother Loki for bringing Tooth Gincer and Tooth Grinder into the picture when the two sons of Odin were children living in Asgard. Loki decided to trick his brother in an effort to embarrass him. Loki conceived his lunkhead of a brother that everyone in the 9 realms would be more impressed with his steeds if they weren't like everyone else's. So Loki showed his brother Tooth Gincer and Tooth Grinder, the enchanted lords of the goats. So let me show you. This is what was right here. And now let me begin reading the next one. What made these goats so special? Well, for starters, they were so stubborn, just like a donkey, and also my dog Beamer sometimes, that their will could be broken by no man, elf, or God. Although Thor always up for a challenge attempt to do just that, Thor's future goats also had a number of powers at their disposal in the Marvel Comics universe. For one, they could travel through the universe at lightning fast speed, and on top of that, energy bolts could fly out of their hooves to capture them. Thor had a dwarf create the Burge Thrall, a magical brittle able to subdue any animal, and through that worked when young Thor arrived in Asgard with mighty goat steeds instead of horses. They all laughed at him. Loki's humiliation plan worked. So right here, this is another example of the goats from the classic Thor comic book. And now I'm going to read the next part. But as often happened, Thor got the last laugh. Toothgrinder and Toothgrinder ended up being loyal friends and steeds to the god of thunder, and these goats came in handy more than once throughout Thor's adventures in Marvel's comics. When Loki turned his brother into a frog of Throg, like kind of like a frog, but it's like a Thor frog. Toothgrinder and Toothgrinder were the only beings who recognized him, despite his being small and green. The pair were even powerful enough to pierce the barrier to the realm of Haven, the counterpart to Hell. In a rare moment of kindness, Loki resurrected him using the North stones. On occasion, Loki could be nice like that. Thor's goats must be pretty special to receive that kind of generously through. And again, that's the new goat character in Thor Love and Thunder. And they're not just normal goats, they're magical goats from Asgard. And before I go, I want to make this episode for Marvel fans who has a favorite MCU superhero, Thor. And Thor is still awesome. Make sure to comment below. Are you excited for the MCU Goats appearing in the first MCU movie? And I'll make sure I do a review on the new Thor movie after I watch it. That's all for my show today.